Last time I felt like this was 2009. What was going on 16 years ago that's happening again? Let's find out. Welcome, everybody, back to the Average joGamer podcast. And 2009. What a year for gaming. Just listen to some, not all, some of the titles that came out in that year: Resident Evil 5, Assassin's Creed 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, man, Uncharted 2, Minecraft's Public Alpha, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Plants vs. Zombies, Borderlands, Infamous, Halo 3 ODST, Street Fighter 4 on consoles at least. It came out before that, like in arcades and everything. Killzone 2, Red Faction Guerrilla, Demon's Souls, Brutal Legend, Dragon Age Origins, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which was led by Vince Zambella. We'll be talking about another game that's led by him here shortly. Left 4 Dead 2, and many, 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 many more. But two franchises also had new entries that year. Skate 2 started this historic year off, releasing in January of 2009, and then in July, 3 days before my 26th birthday, Battlefield 1943 came out, with Battlefield Bad Company 2 following it up in March of 2010. So, what's going on in 2025? Well, a lot. And I'm not going to talk about all the other games. Some of them in the same franchises, like a Borderlands 4 came out. But today we're mainly discussing Skate and Battlefield 6. I was lucky enough to play Skate early this year, and although it may not be Skate 2, it is a lot of fun. And yes, I did say Skate 2, not 3. I do not want to hear this revisionist history on Skate 3. I know it had good elements, but it's not Skate 2. Anyway. Currently in early release, Skate 2 is in early release, and it's out, and it's basically what you'd expect from a game in 2025. That's up to you on whether you think that's good or not. Stripped away is any kind of story mode, but in its place is a live service, free-to-play, microtransaction, skate pass heavy game. It's not necessarily a bad thing, though. The game does have some single-player elements to it, basically kind of like tutorials on how to do things, like how to do tricks, how to place objects into the world, how to interact with the world, how to go to the store, what things mean on the map, how to go to the store, how to send friend requests, how to go to the store. Yes, very store, because they want you to spend that money. I do think the store is a little predatory. I don't mind the tutorial showing you the store, but in order to level up certain areas, you have to go to the store. Loot boxes are in the store, and they're buried at the bottom of the page with everything paid on top and then paid on the bottom of it. It's the second to last thing on the page of where to get things. The loot boxes give you random rewards, yes, but there's no repeat rewards, which is nice, and each set has kind of a limit. So there'll be 11 pulls in a box. You can't repeat what you get out of those 11 pulls, so once you get all 11 items, you're on to the next. You progress your rank by doing more challenges, and then when you do that, you earn more boxes, rinse and repeat. Not that bad. So that's where the live service can maybe be a con, that you're not getting the story that you may have wanted, or you may not get as fleshed out of a world where you're going to earn things just by playing the game. A lot of the name brand stuff is going to be paid for items, but where the live service function can shine, if EA chooses to let it happen, is by listening to their fans. And so far they have kind of listened. People complained about the super clean, super bright world, and so they added a golden hour type filter over it. Does that fully solve the look? Not really, but it does help. In my opinion, it looks a lot better than it did when it first came out. Because also it's in early access and live service, EA has the opportunity to add other features that fans are talking about, like Hall of Meat, more character customization, real NPCs instead of voiceovers, security guards, so on, so on, so on. In the meantime, while we're waiting on any kind of updates, which they have said they are going to be adding features that were in previous games, the gameplay's solid. Whether you're into these crazy high-flying, off-the-skateboard tricks that a lot of people are doing, or whether you like the more quote-unquote realistic stuff like grabs, grinds, manis, and flip tricks, there's a ton of that for you too. I find myself loading up Skate, either playing for a few hours or logging just to do a daily challenge and then log back off, and I'm loving both experiences. Playing with friends is great. We can help each other complete challenges, laugh about how we both suck at the game, laugh about how fun falling can be, because the physics, Hollow Meat's not there, but the physics are still there where you bang your head against a rail, you're going to hear it, and you're going to see it, and it's funny, and it hurts all at the same time. Regardless, I'm having fun with Skate. I'm happy that it's here. It's better than it being dead. It's actually fun to play, and I really do hope it lasts. I hope that it keeps going. I know a lot of this podcast sounds scripted, and I did that to try to focus in on some of the pros and cons of each of these titles. But as of like right now, for example, I'm going off the cuff, because I just want to I want to get into a focus of what is good about these games, bad about these games, and then the off the cuff is just how much I love it. I mean, Skate 2, like I said, that was 16 years ago. And yeah, a year later you get Skate 3, so technically it's been 15 years since the Skate games come out. But Skate 3 was rushed. A lot of bugs in it, a lot of problems with it. Like I said earlier, yeah, it had some great moments in it, but overall, I think Skate 2 was the peak of the franchise. And I'm glad that it's back. I'm glad that the fans never gave up on it. I'm glad that games like Tony Hawk got some remasters, because when that becomes relevant and that sells, that shows other companies, hey, people want these type games to come out. So now Skate comes out. And plus we have other games like Session and I can't remember the other one, but Session's one where fans were just like, okay, well, you're not going to make it, we're going to make it. So there's a Skate revival right now in the gaming world, and it's great. Not just Skate like the game, but like skating games period, including Tony Hawk, including these other titles. So it's fantastic. It's great to see. I want it to keep going, like I already said. My YouTube algorithm of like shorts is full right now of Battlefield, of Skate, of Star Wars, of nerdy stuff. It's great. I'm loving it, and not just like Skate video game. Like it's giving me like Robin Big videos, which I'm now watching like on YouTube, like Robin Big episodes, which I loved. A long time ago. It's cool. It's cool. It's making me want to stream Skate. It's making me want to make highlight reels of Skate with the video editor that I actually admittedly have not messed with, which is funny because in Skate 2 that was kind of the thing. That was the thing to do was, me and my buddy Rottens, we would make highlight reels, and like that was the point of getting on. Once you like beat the story and all this other stuff, you get better at moves, and then you create a line, and then you make a video about it. Now, I am not good at Skate at all, but it's still fun to play with those features, and as I've gotten accustomed to this world in the game, I haven't discovered every spot, obviously, but like now it's starting to get back to, okay, what can we do here? What can we do there? I've never been a fan of creating my own lines with like drop in rails and all this other stuff. I kind of like to see what the world provides. But, we'll see what happens. Maybe I will add a ramp or two to make that a little bit easier. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it, really enjoying it, and I hope to play with any of y'all that are listening. Now, back to the main subject of 2009 versus 2025. What else is going on in the gaming world? Well, Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is upon us, and this game, what makes Battlefield 6 fun so far is that hype-wise, like anticipation-wise, like excitement, overall excitement, Battlefield, the franchise, has not really felt this. The fan base since like Battlefield 3 slash like Battlefield 4. This is EA's. Here comes the scripted part because there was a lot of numbers. EA's biggest Steam launch ever, at 747,440 concurrent players. Right? That's how many people at one time were playing this game just on Steam alone. And to put that number into perspective, the last two entries, Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 5 managed only 114,017 players, and its follow-up, Battlefield 2042, had an all-time peak of 107,376 concurrent players. You can combine Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 5 together. Combine those numbers together, and Battlefield 6 did almost 3.5 times better on its first day. More than 2 times better just during the beta alone. On the beta, it had over 500,000 concurrent players. Battlefield 6 now sits third place on the all-time peak list for first-person shooters on Steam, behind PUBG and Counter-Strike 2, which both those games are like in the million. They're over 1 million for peak players. Below Battlefield, like what did it beat? Below are Marvel Rivals, Apex Legends, which is another Vince Zampella game, and Call of Duty. Now, I mentioned Vince Zampella earlier with Modern Warfare 2. I'm not going to get really into him. That would be another episode. But Vince Zampella pretty much like just does bangers, right? Like he did Call of Duty 4, which turned Call of Duty into what it is today. I mean that it just revolutionized first-person shooters. Like you have, I know I'm missing a ton. I know that there's Doom and all these things, but like it goes like from kind of my history, my personal history. It's like there's GoldenEye, Halo, Call of Duty 4, and then like that pretty much gets it as like changing the game kind of stuff. Like N64's GoldenEye made it cool to play first-person shooters on consoles. Halo kind of just upped that, especially with the online stuff. And I played Halo 1, but I didn't even play the other Halos. But even I know that like what Halo did, especially for the Microsoft's Xbox console, that saved that console. It blew up. It made console shooters even more popular than it was with GoldenEye. And then you have stuff like Call of Duty 4 that adds, the kill streaks and adds all these scores and everything. And it just hits at the right time and it reinvents the wheel. And, Call of Duty is, for better or worse, Call of Duty is what it is now. And a lot of first-person shooters are because of Call of Duty 4. How amazing Call of Duty 4 was. So that's all Vince Zampella. That's Call of Duty 4. He's Modern Warfare 2. He ended up leaving, I think, after Modern Warfare 2, and he ends up going and doing his own company, Respawn Entertainment, and that did a little thing called Titanfall, and did a little thing called Apex Legends, which we just mentioned. Battlefield 6 just overtopped Apex Legends on its concurrent list, all-time peak list, and he ends up doing the Jedi Fallen Order franchise, and now he's in charge of Battlefield 6. So the dude knows what he's doing, knows how to create great franchises, how to invent great franchises, and thank goodness for him. Anyways, back to those numbers. What does all that crap mean? Basically, it means it's a good sign for sure. Whether you're a Call of Duty fan, Battlefield fan, or neither, or both, having more than one good game in a genre, just like we talked about with Tony Hawk and Skate and Session, it basically means that Call of Duty and it means that there's good competition. Because when you boil down first-person shooters, yes, Fortnite and Fortnite and Call of Duty are getting compared a lot, especially because of the skins that Call of Duty is using now. But if you boil it down even more to military shooters, it's basically Call of Duty and Battlefield. Now that Battlefield is popular again, and it's a good entry in the series, Call of Duty is going to have to pay attention. They're going to have to compete. Call of Duty is always going to do gangbusters for sales. I don't care what streamers cry about. If Activision starts to lose some of its share, the masses, yes, they will have to adapt, but Call of Duty is still going to do numbers. Like, it's huge. But again, if all the talk of the town is Battlefield, they're going to look at what Battlefield's doing right, and they're going to have to say, okay, we need to adjust. Maybe we are going a little too far on the skins, or do we go even further on the skins and do more of a Fortnite thing? Fortnite is not just a battle royale mode. I mean, that thing is a whole gaming gaming world in itself. I mean, there's racing games, there's all this other stuff. So, does Call of Duty want to go that route, or do they want to hone in on what they do best on the military shooter side and compete with Battlefield? Again, I know it's still early. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is not out yet, so we'll see what the sales numbers do at the end of the year. But Call of Duty, I mean, we'll talk about this on another episode. Some of the top, I think they said the top selling games from PS3, Xbox 360 until today, Call of Duty is basically 18 out of 20 of the games. The other games are Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. Call of Duty does not have to worry about their sales at all. But again, I know just more on a micro level, if Battlefield's getting all the talk, if that's the new hot girl in town, then Call of Duty's going to have to do something. Anyways, back to the excitement of both having Skate and Battlefield being good at the same time since 2009. It's just a fun time. It just, I am a retro gamer. I'm a current day gamer. I fall for nostalgia bait all the time. I don't care, whatever, I'll admit it. But right now it's fun because, just last week I was playing PlayStation 3. I was playing 3D Game Heroes on the PlayStation 3. I loaded up Little Big Planet 2 for a little bit. I loaded up some of the other Battlefield games for a little bit. It just feels good to play those games that are fun. And then right now, I know that when I get home, I do my dad duties, I do my father duties. I then load up a little quick session of Skate. Then I load up 1, 2, 3, 4 matches, 10 matches of Conquest and Battlefield for the most comfortable, chaotic gaming joy possible. Right? Please hashtag more revives. But then when I'm done with that, I'll hop on another quick session of Skate to kind of cool down. So, what more could you want in gaming? When there's a good Battlefield and a good Skate, why are you playing Destiny? I don't know. Who knows? Nah, that was an unnecessary shot, but I'll take it anyway. Ghost of Yotei just came out, and if it wasn't for Battlefield and Skate, I'd be playing that right now. And that's not a knock on that game at all. But this just feels again, 15 years since Skate 3. Basically the same amount of time, roughly 12 since a really great Battlefield game. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm loving life right now. I'm loving the gaming life right now. It's very exciting. I want to know, any of you out there, are y'all playing Skate? Are y'all playing Battlefield? If not, why not? Skate's free. Hop in, see what you think. If not, then whatever. At least you gave it a shot. But if you see me on Skate or see me on Battlefield, feel free to join in. I actually added somebody on my friends list, a new person on my friends list for the first time in a long time on Skate. I don't know if I'll delete them later or not, but this morning I hopped on at 8 in the morning, got some sessions in. The tutorial makes you, at one point, learn how to do gestures and stuff, and part of that is that it teaches you how to invite people to a party. So I invited this one guy to a party, and we ended up doing a bunch of stuff together. So sent him a friend request, and then we skated some more together, and then I got off, played some Battlefield, played some Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, started writing this podcast, now recording this podcast, and I just want to go home and load up some Battlefield again, and load up some Skate after that. Yeah. And then, and then out of nowhere, on the same day that Battlefield comes out, Final Sentence demo on Steam comes out. Intense Battle Royale typing game. Where the heck, I didn't hear anything about this game, because again, there's so many Steam games that you don't know about, you don't hear about. unless you're just like already in that world or whatever. But you know, thankfully, some YouTube thing or whatever popped up, some advertisement popped up on my feed, and I played the demo, and it's fun as heck, and I love it. And it's intense. It gets you sweaty. It gets you typing, which I do like to type. And if you mess up 3 times, they get you. But we'll talk about that another time. I'm definitely down to buy that game when it does release. I'm going to play the demo some more. But right now, this is Battlefield and Skates episode. And yeah, I know it's not a long episode, but it's something. I wanted to get back into it and talk about it, so I will end up getting back to those gamings, and I'll get back to another episode, and we'll see you next time. So thank you so much for listening, and hopefully I'll see you out there grinding with me. Bye-bye.